Tune in. Not a huge rush. It's a little too early to start dinner. I mean, technically, if I start, be ready by 5, but we don't have to eat right at 5. I'm just keep heating stuff, so it's all good. Good buddies. Same thing for lunch as you. Yeah, but slightly different. Yeah, not much stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm having. So for those that see this after, again, welcome to just skip ahead to the content. I'm not going to wait too long with this one. Sometimes, I might want to wait a while, let people come in and be a bit more, what's the word? Um, by the way, if Scotty sees this, this is not the video I was mentioning in the comments. I'll state, and I should have stated it there, and maybe I'll go back and do so in a moment. To just kind of let you know. Well, I think this playlist, I think it's actually the next one in the playlist I have created to look at. So after I'm done this and I watch that, then I'll do that and I'll let you know which one it is, because there actually is something about it that stands out as to help you be able to find it. Same with, I sort of was mentioning it to Elise, although I don't know if she was understanding, and I didn't know yeah, we're gonna try and get the dog out for a walk, and he's actually been really good since he didn't want the chew stick before the sun goes down. But I'm thinking it's more likely going to be G. I really hate winter, and I've still not been feeling well myself, and he's been used to the winters here for longer, even though still I have been for a long time, and also too, um, you know, um, um, I don't know. It's just he's more rugged in that way. I enjoy the other, struggles and stuff, but I might go stand outside for a few minutes or something. I don't know, but and try to enjoy. It's not that it's exactly sunny, but it's a bit cloudy. I mean, the sky's still a little bit bright. It's not nighttime yet, so anyway, I wanted to do this video quickly. I'm certainly tired, although I did have a bit of a nap, and I think I slept for some of it. Not as much as I would have liked, but again, we wanted to try and get up and do a couple things before going out. What was to bright out, so or at least one of us in the house did, and we kind of just operated in the same way. But I certainly am tired. I mean, I don't want to have to put off my vlog that we're going to get tonight, so I'll be fine with having that tonight. Um, if it wasn't for a couple of other things that I'm trying to process, about the holidays and opportunity, I might actually probably push it back, and I'm not sure. She sees this a bit in and be able to just, but if she sees this, I would probably. I don't know if I should say next Wednesday or not, or a different day, because next Wednesday I will be busy, but earlier in the day. But I might want to spread things out a bit. Anywho, to the topic at hand. I'm thankful for water. I'm thankful for drinking water, always, but I saw the bottle on the screen as I was drinking, and for some reason felt to say it more. So, and they do give you afterwards. And so if I keep this short, might even get comments. I mean, I think some people, maybe they're like, oh, I want to watch this, but I want to watch the full thing, and I don't know. Like I say, it's never a requirement. You can watch as much as you're able to. but trying to keep this short. So I experienced something kind of interesting and in a different way than I normally would. Um, just a little bit before starting this video. Basically, um, I sensed a symbol or a line from a loved one that's passed. And pardon me for a moment. Cover your ears, cover your eyes if you want. It's a human connection. I just sat down. I don't want to get up. Um, Normally, when I experience those kind of things, um, let's see, that's kind of normally, when I experience those kind of things, I look at it as special, uh, kind of neat, cool. I mean, given what it is, chapstick. If you're curious, by the way, chapstick. If you're not, given what it is, I mean, it's connected to someone that's passed away. So I mean, but you learn to manage those feelings and accept those kind of things when they happen. But I think that this will be a very powerful message for a lot of people, so I wanted to come and do it, and myself included. And I'm not even entirely sure fully how I'm going to say it. um, so, like I say, normally when I see the signs and the symbols from the loved ones, it's like, oh, that's special, that's cool, okay, thanks, blah blah blah. Even if it's nothing, hugely deep. Um, I was watching something on YouTube, actually kind of connected to something for a few seconds there. Actually, kind of connected to a song I did earlier in the previous podcast, the one that has the image saying "A life well lived," ironically in signage. Um, and basically, um, sorry, the dog's just being. Oh, he's laying there pretty good, and I thank him for it. Thank you. Anyway, a life well lived. And I'm gonna guess. I'm meaning to look back at it and pinpoint this more specifically, but I haven't yet. I'm gonna guess it's at the 30 to 40 minute mark of that video. Um, and although I do play instruments, I found myself just putting on headphones. That was actually the second song. Pardon me. The first one I was a little bit more familiar with. The second one I knew of. I knew it was a similar theme, but anyway. So, but I put on headphones and I sang along with it. I would have sang along with the actual track, but it would have been a monetization issue then. And with the actual, well, I don't know. I don't know. I see people do it all the time, but that doesn't mean that they are like, you know. And it said something about sharing revenue. It's like, no, it wouldn't be. It goes all to the ones that are already multimillionaires. But you know what? It's not that they don't have talent, right? Anyway, and a lot of them do good philanthropy things with their money. But so I'm certainly not trying to diss them or anything. For all I know, I could have somebody who knows them watching. I mean, at any point in time, because people do know them, and YouTube is used by so many people. Not just streamers but watchers. So, but anyway, basically, and it's interesting because this particular song, it very much is obvious what it's about. Both of them really, and they go well together. The third one kind of too. I mean, songs are always open to interpretation, but and yeah, there was a very very deep moment. I later kind of thought more about how I see that song, um, about how when my dad passed away, I never really got uh, to say goodbye to him. Um, one of those kind of situations, right? I mean, we very rarely do. I mean, I guess if somebody is sick for a while and we know that they're going to pass eventually, we just don't know when. We get some opportunities, or at least get the time together is different, right? But sometimes we don't know. And although I do sense him, around at times, and I do, believe in afterlife and all that. Um, you still long for their physical presence. You still long to do things with them and be with them and have conversations and get hugs and all that stuff, right? So I think what this one song brought up for me was a feeling of, I almost told G, but I was in a pretty good mood, and I decided not to. And it's not trying to get anybody in a not good mood. Talking about this, we talk about the feelings, we get through them together, and that's what it's about. But yeah, basically, it was kind of like not getting to have that moment, those kind of moments with my dad, and his may have even survived. Apparently, it was a kidney transplant, and he may have actually survived. But or maybe he hasn't since. I don't know. The video was a bit that I watched, kind of interviewing him about the song, was a little disappointing, to be honest. But um, he just didn't really speak much to it. But and then as far as like, I don't know what my future is going to be like when my mother passes away, and what how that's going to all play out. You know, um, so far, it's there's nothing making me think that she's going to anytime soon. I mean, she's got some health problems that she's managing, uh, and she's getting older, and anything can happen. This is true, and you know, but and it kind of made me think about that a little bit too. But to this other song, so um, basically, I started saying basically a lot as a filler word, but whatever. Um, it's not, it's not, that terrible that I'm using it. I don't think. Anyway, basically, but because sometimes the brain isn't operating as fast as one might want it to, or as much as I would like it to. I'm trying to keep the momentum going here. Um, so, oh yes, I still haven't had my coffee. I'm gonna have to go get that in a moment. Still plenty early. Normally I would by now, but anywho, um, I think this was the one. No, this was the one I was gonna do karaoke. What was the one I was gonna do at the Westlife? But possibly also this one. Maybe I don't remember looking at both things, but it worked out. That's fine. Um, anyway, so, and actually that line that just came up, that's perfect way to speak about kind of living one's legacy and continuing one's legacy. But um, so, like I say, this one song though, kind of all of them, but this one song especially it's very obvious, what it's about. But I found myself um, looking up something about it anyway. Then it showed me a video where Ed played it at the guy, Michael Gudinski. I think he said it was his record promoter, his promoter or something like that, funeral. And I found myself clicking it, and it has since opened a playlist. Um, ooh, baby, baby. Oh my gosh, it continues. Oh my gosh. Well, but that experience that I had where it was like, you don't know. I might. I likely do now, you know, and things can happen. And it's almost better to assume that one might have a health condition than to think that they might not, because, if you want to take your life seriously, I don't know, stay there. But um, if you want to take yourself seriously, then the possibility, if you think at all that you might have a certain health condition or something going on, you look into it. So before that video started, an advertisement played. I might honestly go get my coffee. I know it's ready. I know it's waiting for me, and I want it. My throat wants it too. So I think I'm gonna go get that. I'll bring it with me. Not that there's anybody here right now, but for those that watch after. Just a bit of a softer light. So, the milk's been sitting out too, so it's a good thing I didn't delay it much more. So I am being slow to express this, but I hope that, once you've heard it, it will be helpful for you. I really have. I haven't actually even really gotten into explaining it yet. So let me get to that one. Okay. No, I've already started. I kind of do want to. Here gently with you. Say what you feel you need to say. I support you. Thank you. So, hey, been at it for so long. He knows he's trying to get out before it goes dark. It's dark out tonight. I'll be right back. Just a moment, please. Whew. I don't want to make many seasons afterwards. Have to wait too long, and I don't really want this to be a huge amount longer. I have another meeting tonight, and yeah, want to get this sold and get on with the evening. And I haven't had any distractions, but I don't necessarily look at comments as a distraction. Where I'm wanting to have a conversation, and very rare.
No,
Shouldn't do what they do. But...
So I don't watch.
So what? Who? Where?
Like
don't worry, I'm not Russian. I'm not hungry. I'm very It's heated up quickly when it's ready. Okay, I'm doing something right now. Anyway, bit. Sorry. But I don't know if I should have sent what's his face, because now it's like, no, I'm saying maybe she should call early, but I don't think she's going to be able to anyway. I think she doesn't get home with the transit until like, I'm going to say 6:30 or 7, and then probably once at a time. So even though it feels late, it works kind of for both of us, since she can't do during the day. But it sounds like she doesn't have much to do at work sometimes, so she wants to look real. But yeah. Oh, that's hot. So, we got someone just tune in. I haven't really actually started the story yet. I've been a bit distracted. I've kind of done the whatever you want to call it, to the story. And I hope that you might find this impactful. I'd be curious your thoughts. So what happened was I brought up that song. It has a certain kind of theme. And or at least it looks like you have. But whatever, I'm going to get into this. Okay, you either came back or somebody else here. I'm going to do this and then not stick around too much to chat, but maybe a little. Yeah, I mean, I do want to kind of step outside at least while the sun's still out. Or it's not really sun, but the sky is bright, like you say. But anyway, so I don't think this will take very long to express, but let's see. So and Jay's around, it's true, but whatever. So the advertisement, I almost knew instantly, to be honest. The advertisement before it showed that, and very specifically playing at a memorial, was diabetes related. Something about some sort of pill or something. And this song, I could think of so many people about it, as a lot of us could. Like I mentioned, I almost did a karaoke performance of it. I don't do karaoke nights very much anymore. I don't do late nights out very much anymore. But we were going to a place that this individual worked at, and they do have karaoke. And I thought, maybe I'll just be able to ask if I can and be able to sing a song or two. You know what? And I've mostly gotten past the fact that it didn't happen. It still disappoints me a little bit, but really long and short of it was there was two different sections. There wasn't very many people in the one section, and the other ones were all on BLTs in the other section. It is what it is. But anyway, basically, but it instantly brought up a feeling that I can't even identify necessarily at the moment, where it's kind of like, I didn't, maybe the girl that did, and I kind of remember her name, but whatever, maybe she was closer to her. Not that should matter, it does matter, but not that shouldn't mean that, she got to, I didn't, kind of thing. I have an event hopefully coming up where I'll be thinking of this person and might get to do something, so here's hoping. But anyway, basically, trying to think actually. I think there was only two people out of all the people that were there that did do something. Two may have done something together, a song, and then one did two or three songs solo. And I think that she's a fairly generally anxious person. And, given what it was, I remember when we were kind of sitting before she performed, she did explain about, or she was telling someone, oh, she's shaking, she's nervous, blah, blah. Um, so I didn't really get to have any of my coffee, by the way, because I filled it a little too full. So let me try and have it anyway. Oh, the other thing. Sorry, I just sat down. Nobody's here right now, anyway, and I'm still not much into the story, or whatever you want to call it. But there is somebody here now, so I'm gonna, I think I can probably express this in about 5 or 10 minutes. You can write your thoughts if you'd like, and I'm going to step outside and try and get a bit of fresh air. Well, okay. It looks like you left, so you know what? I'm gonna do it now. I hope that the people watching will be patient and curious to tune in shortly and get the rest of it. So maybe I'll step out on the back. Well, actually, it isn't really now that the bushes aren't as full. Maybe that's not fast enough. Certainly a breezy coolness to the air. And I'm not into it. No. You need to be in a tropical climate, but I know some of them get some pretty bad storms too. Anywho, okay, that's all I needed for right now. It's important. It's a different kind of air, but one in the winter and two just kind of in general outside as opposed to just breathing in general. And I think it's good to, even if we just do that, go stand out on our deck or our balcony or whatever for a few minutes. I think that it's a good thing. Um, and I even found a bit. I'm glad you left the front door open, actually. Anywho, so it was a diabetes related advertisement before that particular song by Ed Sheeran playing at a memorial. And yeah, it basically it did. I did think, oh, I didn't get to play it. I didn't get to do music at her memorial. She would have loved that. I think it would have been very special. Um, and it was largely how we knew each other. Not only, but largely. But um, um, really, there's possibly a lot of people there that would have wanted to do music and didn't get to. It happened as it was meant to. Um, they also gave opportunity after not that many. I think just like three. I was a little bit surprised actually, but you know, it's one of those things where funerals, you know, sure they're honoring someone who's passed away, but they're also very much about about um, it's they're there for the living to get together and console each other and remember the person and share their memories and try and have a little bit of a party afterwards with the food, and enjoying a lunch or whatever, right? Um, but it's one of those things where not everybody is going to feel uh, up to making a speech, whether they plan to or not. You know, in the moment, um, you know, I mean, some people don't mind if they're showing a little bit of emotion while they do so. They realize it's at a funeral. Other people, they just, you know, and I would have imagined that it would have been quite kind of noisy, but I don't remember. I don't know why I feel that. Maybe just because I was around her so a few times when she was drunk. Uh, but and I was very, very surprised that she didn't. But if she sees this, or anybody else who relates to this, including myself actually, but my dad, I mean, I think we have to have that acceptance and have that understanding that it's not the easiest type of event to be at, and to kind of forgive ourselves if we don't get to know that, or if we don't know that our loved ones would as well. I think that's a very important part, because maybe some people think that their loved ones, would be disappointed in them if they didn't, and that's not. I wouldn't say that's likely the case. Um, but I was a little bit, yeah. It was a reminder that I didn't, and part of it was, wanting to be heard musically by the people that were there. Part of it was to tribute, right? But I'm reminded that I at least made it to the funeral, even though it was a funeral. I at least made it. I went to it. I think it was a good. It was good that I was there. All things considered. Um, but G came with, which was also kind of special, and I felt, again, it's white light healing energy. I know who it's connected to, and it is, my loved ones. But if it helps you, it helps you. And I only ever do. I'm not one that's going to charge $100 to do this kind of thing. I never would. I mean, I've been low income a lot of my, from a few years now, and even if I wasn't, but it's really brought me an understanding of that other people are. I mean, we all know it, but sometimes if we've not somebody was saying something the other day in her video about, oh well, we can't, about putting yourself in somebody's shoes. It's not that hard with empathy and this and that. It's really not that hard. And there was one ironic example that she gave, which yeah, it turned out to be yeah, very ironic. But it's but I would almost say that might be one. That might be an area. I mean, you can imagine that, when things are very expensive, and the cost of living, and you know keeping fed and this and that. It's um, when you are low income, that's harder. That you can get, and even people that do have work struggle a lot of times. But no, it's just not the way I would ever do it. Um, you know, when I'm using my gift for someone else, it's just not what I would do. And it's interesting to think that a part of it is because of that understanding. I think. But anyway, so basically, but I know that she did share with me a few months after the funeral, so a few months ago, that she was behind her urn. When people came up afterwards, some didn't. They didn't either know that they could, or that it was an option, or that they were ready for the lunch and had other things to do, or whatever. Wanted to mingle, wanted to converse and share their feelings and be there for others and this and that. Um, they did bring it up though, and actually we were sitting quite close to where they put it. Um, and her family that I most knew of, and some of the people from the old karaoke days. But yeah, she apparently said she was standing behind there, waving at everybody, kind of hi, thanks for coming, hi. It's kind of like, I know this is what it is, but I'm glad you made it, kind of thing. And even Miss Bo went up there. Didn't know the person, but was with me. We went up there together. It was actually quite a tender moment. Um, and it I think it really warmed her heart. Um, so I can't say necessarily in words what I got from being there, Other than that, all things considered, I'm glad that we were there. Nice. Back out to shovel again. We haven't gotten that much snow since. My goodness gracious. Sorry. I don't know. Yeah, without bringing that bag out, maybe. Impossible realizing that I'm sitting here talking about the doom and gloom, which is not all that this channel is about. But I mean, I've been through a lot of this kind of stuff, and I have thoughts that may help others. I have experiences sometimes that help others and myself, but it's still a hard thing. Anyway, so um, I'm not really sure what to do with the thought, but it was very interesting, like I say, because usually when I experience that kind of thing, it's like cool, special, okay, nice, thanks, those kind of things. I remember recently somebody shared um, about a similar experience. Um, Now, for her, I'm not going to say any specifics. One, because it's mildly awkward, and two, you know, to respect their privacy. I mean, although I don't really think that there's anything necessarily wrong with necessarily expressing this, but I'm just going to be careful how I do so. Um, Basically, her spouse, who she'd been with for like 16, 17 years, lots of people have been in long relationships like that. Anyway, passed away a few months ago, and she saw his name on something. Um, in fact, where she worked, it's a brand name. She saw it quite a bit, I think, probably. And especially, well, I mean, I guess she figured she had rent. She go back to work, and it was better to be around people than. But anyway, and she was really, it made her feel quite uncomfortable, actually, or whatever. I said, it's actually kind of special too, though. She's like, well, I think she didn't disagree necessarily, but it was like, or somebody else told her too. That just means he's with you. Um, and maybe sometimes that's exactly all it means. I mean, if we feel more from it, we feel more from it. But and I mean, it happens in the most random of moments too. Like I was gonna come down and do some stuff on the device, watch some videos or whatever, and have my coffee and relax, and then eventually have dinner, and then my meeting, and like I wasn't even really thinking of this person. Um, and then that transpired, and it was kind of like I know that those kind of things happen. I know that they do, and that's the feelings it kind of brought up. It's like I didn't play at a funeral. I guess you could say you could also say it also brought up I didn't sing that way. But you know what? I feel like I say her angelic soul around sometimes. I know that she's in a better place. I know that she wouldn't want me to be feeling those feelings, even though she wants me to feel my feelings. She wants to be accepting of what I'm feeling. And she wouldn't want me to be feeling those feelings. And perhaps other people can relate to similarly. Um, and I'm a pretty strong person, but I pick up on other people's emotions. I also um, sometimes struggle to I'll use that word, keep them at mine at bay. Not that I'm a like off the handle emotional person, but and would I have been able to? I don't know if I even thought much about it. I think I probably did because I am a performer. And sorry, I just hear the dog doing something out here. What are you doing? Um, Sorry, I get up just as you come to the screen, but I'm coming right back. But I don't think we got that much more snow since he last shoveled. But anyway, I am. It's how I would tribute or honor somebody. It's how as a lot of musicians would say, it's how we express ourselves too. I mean, not the only way. Some maybe more than me, probably, definitely. But I didn't know, or I don't know actually if it was actually a song, because I thought the eulogy I wrote a couple of days after, just because I didn't know, I didn't really think to write one. I think maybe I wanted to ask to speak. That's what I think it was. Possibly. I don't know. I don't remember looking at songs. I don't. Or maybe I didn't. I do remember the day I found out, though. That was wild. It wasn't more than an hour. And because I've been getting so into live streaming lately, and the kind of connection I had with her connected to music and this and that, I came on and sang a few songs. You know, um, I should watch back that video perhaps because it'd be very interesting to kind of see me. Hard, of course, but interesting to kind of see after just processing that. It's not the kind of opportunity we necessarily get to look back at very easily, or get the opportunity to look back at. But yeah, no, I think that's all. That's what I would suggest to anybody. That's the best way to try and look at it when you see these types of symbols. In that is that it's something special from your loved one, not that it's meant to make you uncomfortable or angry or anything like that. Um, you can feel feelings. You know, I'm not gonna say don't, um, but I don't know. I'd just be curious people's thoughts about this topic. I know that she's got something under our tree for us. That was amazing because of the place I got it from and what I connect. That I connect, and the fact that I ended up putting it in gift bags, found myself putting it in gift bags and putting it under the tree. Um, the other wild thing is that playlist that it opened in. Um, After that is just the music video for that song in general, and then a song that I remember her doing. Now, as a you would think that I remember her doing a whole lot of songs. I kind of don't. She did sing every time, once or twice, but it was about the other people that were there that wanted to sing. And I mean, I have a handful of songs I associate with her, but yeah, not as many as I would think. And maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. But James Bay and Ed Sheeran, let it go. In Cambridge, possibly Ontario, possibly the UK. And I think that's what she's, probably just telling me. You know, let it go. That you didn't get to, because after the few people spoke, they said, "Is there anybody else that would like to come up and say a few words?" And I came this close to doing so. There was two girls came up together, possibly three, and then there was one or two other people, and then they didn't say anybody else. I don't think they did, and so and while it was happening, I was both trying to listen to what they were saying and sharing, and not very successfully thinking about what would I say, and and then the moment passed. You know, um, Again, we have to not be too hard on ourselves about that because it can really, you know, eat at us if we do, and we don't deserve to put ourselves through that. It's hard enough already losing loved ones. You know, um, It's human to feel a bit of disappointment, to feel the wish you would have. Uh, but at the end of the day, I think you got to just tell yourself, well, you weren't meant to. You weren't meant to, and you did your best. And forgive yourself. They forgive, and I suppose it might be quite hard for some people, that have a very connected family or whatever, or know a lot of the same people. And I don't know if some people might actually say to some people, I'm surprised you didn't say anything. I mean, because some funerals are very much like that. I mean, remember one telling me that it was an Indian one. I wasn't at it. I didn't know the person, but I met the mother, later, and she said it was like 4 hours or possibly 6 hours. Um, I mean, there was a few speakers at my dad's. I would say six or seven. But and it's interesting too. I didn't know I was holding on to that. I mean, probably right after, maybe a little bit, but I didn't know I was holding on to that. And well, apparently I was. you know. Um, Speaking of that James Ray song, though, I did do that because it's actually a fairly decent song. Fun to sing, got neat aspects to it. But yeah, so anywho, uh, now that I just gotta scratch myself, probably should. The pointer's spinning. Okay, no, it looks like it'll be fine. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't really know what else to say or how to say it other than how I've said it. But you're welcome to comment, and we'll go from there. Yeah. Um, I was this close to wrapping up though, and somebody just tuned in, and I feel like that's meant to be. Either that there's still something I'm okay, maybe not because it looks like anyway. Talk to you. Bye.